Hello there, welcome back to another live stream. It's been a while since I did one of these, but today we're going to be working, well, technically it's still the western town because we're going to build it relatively close by, but we're going to be building a big barn for our dinos because that's been highly requested, and also I think it's time we take a crack at that and start building out our own ranch as well. But yeah, today's focus is going to be building a proper big barn that can fit some dinos in there, you know, because you need a place to store them and have them safe. Of course, we already have quite a town here with a big train station and yeah, a pretty nice main street over here as well, with the saloon, post office. Got the new stables as well. I've actually brought over some horses in here so that it feels a little bit more alive as well. But yeah, these are just small stables. Today we're going to be focusing on a big barn. Hello there, everyone. Welcome in. Thank you. Glad you like it. Yeah, I think this is definitely one of my favorite projects. Like, I'm so in love with the structure skin from the Frontier pack. I really like it. And I actually had some cool custom wanted signs here that one of my community members made, but they are a little bit broken right now, but they will be fixed very shortly, and then I'll show them off in one of the future videos. Post office tutorial, or this building, this Frontier house, is going to be a tutorial very soon, sometime this week. And today I'm going to be working on a barn. We're going to build that still close to the western town, but just a little ways out. I was thinking of adding it to maybe this platform over here, so that it is a little bit separate, but it still feels like you can see like the western town close to it. And I think that makes a lot of sense, because if I place it over here, I think it would be too close to the town, right? I feel like a big ranch and a big barn and stuff, it makes more sense if it's a little further from like the main big city, the main big town that we've got going on. Oh, I'm being chased as well. I probably should actually leave me alone, because otherwise this is going to be quite annoying for the entire stream. But yeah, I'm thinking of building it over here so that we have enough space as well, just to make a nice proper ranch out of it eventually. Because I mean, we're going to build a barn today, but probably I'll add a little bit more to it as well. But I think this could be a really nice spot. The view from here will be great. I mean, look at this, looking out over the map. You've got the river right here as well. I think this could be a really nice spot for it. We'll have to clear some rocks and stuff, but nothing we can't do. It's somewhat flat, like it's not entirely flat, unfortunately, but hopefully flat enough to fit like a decently sized barn here. Because we're going to use a behemoth gate as an entrance, most likely, because then we can actually fit in a lot, of course. So let's get some tools, because we're gonna need to clear out some stuff. I'm glad you like the workshop. Yeah, I think that's a pretty nice build to use. Whether you use it for, I'm using it as the warehouse at my station, but yeah, I think it's a pretty nice workshop as well. Fits the cowboy vibes really well. Okay, so realistically, for the start of our building, I think we need at least like 6 foundations to fit in the behemoth gate itself. And then of course we kind of need to take the slope of the terrain into consideration. So I think it probably will start somewhere around here. Let's just see what it would look like. So that's 4. We have plenty of space on both sides, so let's just do it like this. So that could be, I think that could be the entrance. Let's check. Okay, I wasn't wrong about the size, at least. I guess technically it would even be a little bit bigger because the inside is 6 foundations. But yeah, this is going to be a big barn, but I feel like it makes the most sense for ARK to try and build a barn this big, because then you'll be sure to be able to fit a bunch of dinos in here. And since so many people have been asking for it, I kind of want to make sure that I build one that has enough space for all your teams, etc. in it, because I'm pretty sure if I build it too small, people will just keep asking to get a bigger one. So yeah, this should fit in a lot of teams. We'll have to clear out a bunch of these rocks here though, so we'll have to get started with that. But yeah, I've got some images of real life barns on my second screen that I'll use for reference. That's usually what I do, by the way. If sometimes people ask how I come up with my ideas, I usually just Google real life stuff or fantasy, you know, art or whatever, just any art or real life pictures to take some inspiration from, and then of course trying to figure out a way to bring those to ARK. And especially in normal ARK without any mods like I'm building right now, it can be tricky, of course, sometimes. But yeah, the Frontier pack has definitely been a blessing for anyone trying to do any Western builds, because the textures are so good. Yeah, Google Images is always your friend. Like, that's my go-to place. And anytime I want to start a build, a quick Google really helps. Even if you think you know. Even if you think you know what you want to build and you know how to picture it in your mind, I think just having those images next to you are just a nice little spy for your inspiration. And sometimes you might see some things that you weren't thinking of. That could be good details to add. Hello there, Snazzy. Welcome in. Okay, well, we're gonna clear out these rocks for now, and then I'm thinking I'm probably gonna run into those as well, but we'll kind of start planning out the foundations a little bit more. So these foundations are basically just so that we can do the behemoth gate, and then we have, how high is this? This is like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Geez, this building is going to be huge. It's going to be huge. Yeah, 8 high, and then it's going to get even higher, of course, to make like a roof on top of this as well, which is going to be interesting. Yeah, that's going to be a big boy. I should also check, by the way, if all of these rocks, yeah, these are, because sometimes you have like those fake rocks that aren't actually rocks, so you can't get rid of them, but I think these should all be fine. There we go. Yeah, I think we should be able to clear it out at least. Let's check the height though, because I want to make sure if this hill over here at the back isn't too high for us. Yeah, see, because this is already, that's going to be too high, so we can't go back too far. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ah, that might be a little bit short. We might have to start it over here so that we can extend a little bit further. Probably have to start on the highest point, because yeah, otherwise we're gonna run into problems. This is why I like to check before I start building the proper design if I can actually place my foundation down in the way that I want to. So yeah, I think if I start the foundation from here, because now I can still go back a little bit, and then it's not gonna allow me. This is not, it's not ideal, the height difference in the landscape here. And sometimes it looks a lot flatter from the skies than you think. What mod do I use for the custom signs? It's the Scribbles mod. Basically, it allows you to place down the normal signs. It gives them a little bit more variations as well. And then you can adjust them. You can hide them. What I usually do is hide them. I have only the text visible. And then I add some drawing paper behind them to get the look that I've been using for most of my builds in my town. I just like that a little bit better than the signs, because they get very repetitive if you use the same frontier frame every building, like, because there's only one shape, and it's kind of, you notice it. it's a big statement piece if you have that everywhere. Yeah, the fonts are great as well, but to be honest, I've only been using the Western, of course, for now, but I think I might keep it around for future builds as well, because it's definitely a good thing to have. Okay, so we need to figure out a way to actually place down my super barn here, because I would kind of prefer if it was actually just mostly foundations, because dinos tend to sink through ceilings a lot more than foundations. Okay, so if I go from here, I should probably go pretty much as low as possible. So this is the furthest back I can go. And then still I can't do it. Damn it. Okay, that's not great. That is not great. So do I then need to build it maybe on more of an angle to get it to work? Like if I start from here, how far can I go then? This is looking very promising. That could work. Okay, now we need to see how wide I can go though. So that's 3, that's 4, that should still be fine. 5, we could probably fit, but let's leave a little bit space on the side. I might run into problems right here already. Let's see if I remove those rocks. Come on. And we might be fine here. Okay, so this is... That was 3 on that side, so we are on 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... Ooh, 10, 11. This is already in the ground though, so that's not ideal, of course. Let's remove that one. So we could have 10. That's not a lot, since we need 8 already just for the main gate. Okay. Did I? Yeah, I removed them all. Okay. This might be the most tricky part of the entire build, finding a spot close to my base that works. We might have to build it over there after all. I thought this looked pretty flat, but it turns out it's not. We could always try that spot at the end if that's flatter, but okay. Let's give it one more shot over here. We have a foundation right here. We build it a little bit higher. And then we can have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. But will it actually allow me to go? No, this is not gonna. Yeah, this little bit right here, that's the real problem here. This little hill is the problem. Okay, I'm gonna have to find a different spot to build, because I can't actually make a big barn here. So either I do build it over here, so right on the edge of town, Which might be fine, to be honest, because there's also a little bit of a mountain in between us. Because this is definitely flat. Like, that's definitely flat. It might be more convenient either anyway, because then I could actually use this as a base. Okay, let's see how big we can go over here. If I build from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, we can have about 11 there. 12. We could add more. But yeah, I just want to make sure that I have some space to go. Okay, well, that's a pretty long barn. It's a little bit clipping into the side, but that just means we'll have some dust in our barn. That's totally fine. Okay, I think that's about the size that I would want for at least the basic ship. We might, of course, add to the building to the sides. We'll see what we can fit, but that's a pretty decent sized building already. Let's take out or yeah, because there's only a couple of them on the side of the building. Like, most of it is already just the main square. That's insane. Behemoth gates are so big. Okay. Can I actually make this work? Or do I need to slightly rotate it like this so that I have a little bit more space? I might have to go for that, to be honest. Because then I can just maybe fit a little bit more into it. Because now I see this shape. There's definitely no way that I'm fitting it over here. And that would be quite far away. Yeah, I think over here on the edge of town is quite nice. So, okay, I'm gonna try one more thing though. Gonna try to align it slightly different. This is the most important part, because once I start actually building, of course, I'm not gonna want to remove it. Did I remove this one in here? I don't want to have like a hidden foundation in a rock. Come on. I think it's fine. There's no hidden foundations anywhere. There we go. The most important part of the build, lining it up nicely. Because we definitely need a little bit more room next to the behemoth frame to make the design work. Like, to make it possible to get some interesting shapes down. There's going to be a bunch of rocks we're going to have to destroy at some point though. So, yeah, that will be interesting, I guess. Okay, so I want to make sure that it kind of goes this way, I suppose. Yeah, there's not too much space here. Like, I can't go too wide on this side, so I might have to wait until I'm around this place. That might work. Like, that's definitely a lot bigger. Oh, the weather's changing. It's always changing, always being annoying when you're just trying to build. But I believe the patch is coming out soon, which hopefully will reduce them finally. Okay, that's probably big enough again. Yeah, that should fit in. I think this is about lining it up. Yeah, okay. Hello there, moth. Okay, let's see how much space do we have right now. That's definitely already a little bit better. That looks like it's actually in the middle as well, so that's good. So we have 4 foundations on the side there, and we have 4 of them on the side here. I think that is a pretty decent shape to start with. We'll definitely try to add some buildings on the side though, because otherwise it's gonna be huge. Well, it's gonna be huge anyway, because that's kind of the whole idea of this build, making a very big barn where we can easily store a bunch of dinos, because I feel like that's always a good thing to have in ARK, a safe big place where you can have your dinos. And it's gonna look pretty cool as well, hopefully. That's the challenge. Yeah, Behemoth Gates definitely adds to the challenge. It's definitely a big size for a barn. Like, something in between would have been really nice. But I guess at least you're not gonna have to worry about dinos not fitting inside, which is good. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we're gonna have to clear out a bunch of rocks here. Well, I better do it now, because then we can at least fill in. There's definitely going to be wyverns fitting inside this. This is huge. I think it is a 16 by 20 shape that I've placed down right now. So that's pretty big. And there's a behemoth gate on one side, so I think that fits some wyverns in. Like, wyverns, of course, escalate quickly because they are quite big. But you could definitely have them inside and breed them. Of course, depending on how many other creatures you want to keep out. It might still get crowded, but you will definitely be able to park them. I don't have a wyvern here in this town right next to me, so I can't show it right now. But maybe at the end, once we've done the building, we can grab one and see how well it fits. How big the barn will still look if we add in a wyvern. It's probably the biggest thing I have on here. Otherwise I need to transfer and get a giga, but yeah. Things always escalate when you bring a giga. Okay. Well, we're not gonna bother getting all those smaller rocks. Like, those are probably just gonna be hidden in the foundations anyway, so that's totally fine. We're just gonna get the big ones so that we don't have them poking out through the ground. And then we can finally start designing this thing, because I've actually been really excited to build this. Had to hold myself back not to start building it too soon, because I wanted to make sure that I was doing another live stream build again, because it's been a while. I took a little bit of a, well, not a full break, but a little bit of slowing down last week after uploading every day in April for the launch of Scorched, and doing like multiple live streams, shorts as well. Like, I did a lot in April, so I had to slow down a little bit. But now we're back and we're gonna grind again, because yeah, I'm gonna try to keep the regular videos going, cool builds coming, as well as preparing for my holiday that's coming up as well, so that I still have some content whilst I'm away. But yeah, there's some really cool builds coming up, and one connecting theme, including the one that we're doing today, is definitely that I have some very big builds coming up, because yeah, it's definitely escalating. I'm definitely building bigger and bigger stuff, which you know, they look cool, I think. So that's that. Also means that I'm not gonna have tutorials for all those builds, because there's a limit to my craziness, and I'm building a big build once is alright, but building it twice is you know, borderline crazy. But at least that's why we're live streaming this one. Well, I might actually make a tutorial of the barn as soon as it's done, if it's a good one. because I feel like that could be useful in many different maps. Because you could probably change out the materials if you like, but also the frontier skin will also always be useful, because it's just a very nice wood as well. Okay, I think there's like 2 or 3 more rocks at least that we need to clear, and then we can start laying that foundation, see if it finally works and finally fits. Yeah, I know your game, Ellie. I've grown numb to seeing any kind of death message in the community server. Look at that. All the pigs already showed up to my ranch. That's really nice. I'm gonna have tame a couple of pigs just so that I have some in my ranch. Although they're gonna eat all my food, so maybe not. Okay, there we go. This should be the last one, I think. We'll see. Actually, that might also be too high, to be honest. Hard to judge. We're gonna try after this one. Okay. There we go. Let's get rid of this, because otherwise it's gonna be in my hand. Oh my god, so many resources. Okay, let's start filling this whole thing in. And see what we're working with. It's going to be a pretty sizable shape. I think that's acceptable. That's just extra details in my base. Some little rocks that have rolled in when all the dinos entered. I'm gonna basically kill this little pig. Not sure what happens to him now, but he's mine. Okay, there we go. Fill it all in. Yeah, I think we did a good job clearing out the right rocks. This definitely needs to go. That's slightly too big. That's not a rock that just rolled in here. There we go. That might be fine. Is it gonna be fine? It's gonna stand out a lot, isn't it? Because right now it looks fine, of course, but if we change the floor to frontier skin, which we probably will. Although, then again, this adobe color might be just a nice floor for the barn. Looks a little bit more natural, maybe. A bit more dirty. Okay, I think the baby's really stuck in there. Okay, let's fill this all in. I think we've had our shares of rocks sticking out now. But just in case, I'm going to hold on to my hatchet for a little bit longer. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, this is going to be a big barn. I can already tell now that I'm laying down the foundations. Especially since we might still add some side pieces to the building to give it a little bit more shape. So yeah, it's gonna be big. There's gonna be a lot of dinos that are gonna get a good home in this place. Okay, there we go. We're almost there. That is one hell of a foundation. That's all of Main Street. No, no, it's not. It's a lot, though. It's still a lot. All right, and now it's time to whip it. So we get rid of all these random things growing through my floors. I love the whip. This is so much easier than it was before. gonna have a shit ton of resources collected just by clearing out the rocks and all these bushes, but it is what it is. All the herbivores are gonna eat very nice after this. Okay, I have no more space in my inventory, so if I need any more blocks, I can't get them. Come on. Jeez. This is a lot of plants sticking out. Go. Well, welcome to the whipping show. This is gonna go on for a while. We're getting close, though. We're getting close. Well, it's broken. And I can't craft anymore because I've got too many items now. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to drop some of this as well, just so that I don't run out of space instantly and I can actually craft stuff that I need for the building. A lot of resources all going. The baby pig will be safe there. Nothing can ever harm him again. Okay, should have enough space for now. Give me a new whip. Don't pick up the packages, please. Should have thrown them away a little bit further from where I'm building. Or I'm whipping. Oh, there's actually still a big rock there. There we go. We're getting close now. We can finally start building. I'm already full of stuff again. Okay, well, there's definitely a rock or two that I want to get rid of. This one definitely too big. Okay, well, that should finally be it. Let's remove a lot of this stuff from my inventory, because I want to be able to just craft stuff. Flint is also a lot. Big fiber. And again, berries. There we go. That should really help. Okay, now we can finally actually start this barn build. We've got the behemoth gate in the front. We're gonna add some pillars next to it, which is gonna be like 8 high, which is really tall. But yeah, that's what we're gonna have to do. It's gonna be the price we're gonna have to pay. So what I like to do usually when I start these builds, especially on this scale, I start just by adding in some blank walls to get a grasp of the size I'm going to be working with. So yeah, I think that at the very least is going to be the size. Because I kind of have an idea of the kind of shape that I want the building to be, and that is the first thing that I'm going to try and make sure that we nail with the front here. Okay, so I think the best way to do this is to probably do it like this. We need something to overlap in here, I guess. Let's see if it fits with the roof. If we have a roof like this, do you see the gate? Not really, maybe. There we go. Yeah, that's totally fine. You don't really see the gate sticking out. So I think that's the best shout, probably, so that we don't have to go too high with the whole build. There we go. And then probably at least like that. That's what I'm thinking. And I think the overlap here, we can just do a full roof, which will be nice. I'll try to keep the overlapping on this build to a minimum so that official players will be happy as well. Okay, so I think we're gonna make this roof go at least one more. And then I'm probably going to turn it into ramps to kind of create a more interesting shape here at the top. So it's a little bit more of a rounded shape, which I feel like is really common in these barns. So yeah, that's already really looking close to the shape that I have on the other screen of a real life barn. And then what I'm also thinking is of doing the same on the ends of the building. So I'm just gonna see how far. Let's start with about 3 of them. That feels quite nice. Maybe even 4. 4 feels about right. Of course, the disadvantage of using ramps instead of normal roofs is that there's no block to make this gap filled in. But we can at least in some way, have the wall and then just do some magic. So I think the wall's going to continue until this. And then of course we can have a little bit of quarter walls in some of these places to fill it in, and then we'll have to have like railings fill in the rest, basically. There we go. That's basically the way we're gonna have to fill this in, because unfortunately we do not have any structure that fits in there. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I think I like that as the start of our shape for a barn. It is pretty close to the inspiration pictures that I've googled of actual barns. Is this what I did? No, I only did 3 on that side, I think. So like this. There we go. Nope. And I think I did 4 ramps to the outside. There we go. Yeah, that's just definitely the shape that we're going for, I think. It's the best way to do it in ARK, I think. And that means we're gonna have a very sizable barn. You do not have to worry about size once you've built this. You'll be good for quite a while. And if you still fill this up, you should really start using cryos at that point. Okay. it's a good start. And now, of course, we'll need a lot of details and the actual rest of the building. But it's a very good start. I'm gonna actually update all these textures just to kind of get a better understanding of what it would actually look and feel like. Because, you know, that is important that you like what you're doing. And especially on a scale like this, you want to make sure that you actually like what you've built before you start committing and spending a bunch of time building the rest of the structure. Obviously, we're going to probably still change a little bit of these walls to add in some details. But for now, it's going to be just all changed to the right textures so that we can get a little bit of a better understanding of what our building is going to look like for now. There we go. Okay. Yeah, those gaps are just, you know, it's just ventilating. And there's a lot of air. So your dinos have fresh air all the time, you know? It's very kind of us. There we go. Oh, oh, definitely keep that. There we go. Yeah, of course there is like another structure in there, but I can't really... Oh, I can reach it actually. Just to make sure that we won't be able to see it at all. There we go. And then this is where we can fill it in again. This we can also fill in. Perfect. And there we'll just have to fill in whatever we can, and it's not too much. But we can have these to fill in the gaps as well. There we go. Fill in this bit just to get a better understanding of what the front of the barn is going to look like without any details. It's gonna look something like this. At least the barn feeling and shape is really there. Of course, it's not ideal because of ARK system not having quarter sloped for the ramps. That would be such a good addition. But yeah, we're gonna have to go with this for now. I do like the shape. I like the double curve, like the curve at the end. This one is really nice. And then this top, this definitely feels very right. And even if you're down here, you don't really notice the gaps that much because you'll just see the roof. And especially once we have the entire roof going all the way back, you won't see the sky behind it. So it doesn't stand out that much. We'll definitely, of course, need to add more details to the front as well, because it's definitely still very boring, but we're only just getting started. We're going to add in a beam right here for sure. Feels a little bit more supported then and closed off. And I think I'm going to add some supports to where the roof changes into the ramps. Just kind of have a nice line there. And I think I'm going to do the same thing here as well, just to kind of create that line. And then probably we'll have one here on the corner as well, just as extra support, of course. Let's just go all the way down with those everywhere, and then add in some proper beams between them as well. Just as the very basics, just to get a little bit more shape and support to the entire building. There we go. There's going to be another line here. There we go. That adds in some nice lines and support. And then we're definitely, of course, gonna want to add in some details as well, because this right now is still quite a boring building, and we definitely do not want that. I'm thinking of actually having an opening here, because then you would be able to take in flyers. Well, maybe not wyverns, but like RGs and moths could easily fit in here. Like that. We could even make a little addition to the outside. Oh yeah, you would have to overlap, of course, because we don't have proper corners in ARK. Do I want to make the platform too big? I don't think I want to. You can at least have this, I guess, so it's less awkward. I think we're gonna go for something like this, because then you can easily land some flyers in. Actually, I don't know if I want to extend this far. Maybe I just want to do it like this. Looks a little strange to me. Maybe like this. A little bit of shape. And we definitely will want a railing. This one is always a shame. Okay. Can we add in some supports to make it look a little bit nicer? I think we can. We can probably do 2 of those actually around the gate. Don't think that will look too weird. Those look a little bit more supported, and that would just be a way to enter smaller flyers. Everything except the wyvern, I think, should fit. There we go. Change all these textures to see what it would look like once it's all in the Western themes. There we go. Yeah, I think that's quite nice. And that really helps tying in the whole top of the build. As well, just having a second entrance for your flies, because I would assume that the top layer, where normally I guess would be the hay or something like that, is going to be where we're going to have at least the RGs and stuff, you know, have a place for them. Okay, now I really also want to make sure that I change these skins. There we go. Definitely also want to add in some windows, but I think I'm going to wait a little bit before I do that, until I know more about the shape and maybe the floors that we might add into the build. Because I feel like we would want to add a little bit more. It feels like these are sticking out, so it would be good to extend this at least a little bit, but of course then the corners are kind of boring. Or do we use triangle foundations instead? There's also the quarter foundations we could use. Let's see. Okay, let's get rid of half. I guess having this might be better. This is just less of a square shape, which it's always when you're building an ARK, very easily you get a lot of square shapes, of course, because of the way the building system works. But I think this might actually be quite nice. And then I don't think we need to extend it much further than this, actually. And then we can just have a nice ramp leading into our barn. so that everything can easily get in and out of it. Yeah, that feels about right. And honestly, I think for now I'm gonna keep this adobe because I kind of like the texture, because it feels more like it's some kind of mud or dirt instead of like a wooden floor for the entire barn. Like, I don't think you would have that. Some dirt and mud would definitely be on the inside. Okay, so I might have to extend, and I think I did a perfect job of making sure that I have that space actually, which is quite exciting. There's definitely, however, some extra rocks that we need to get rid of. Because, yes, there is even more rocks, yeah. Well, I think we're now off to a good start. We have the basic shape, which is going to help a lot. And it's going to give us a lot of space on the inside. I think you can definitely fit a bunch of dinos in here, which is great. Because then it will have a proper purpose. Be really useful. And hopefully we can also make some nice details to make it look a little bit better, instead of just like a giant husk of a barn. Like, it's, of course, this is a big build. There we go. And eventually I will definitely be adding some extra buildings around in the neighborhood to make it more of a ranch. But for now, for this stream, I think I'll already be really happy if we manage to finish the entire barn. We'll try to get as far as we can, though. There we go. Just adding in some extra foundation, so it's going to be even bigger. But then it lines up with the front. Are you the baby that I trapped? No, the baby I trapped was like full red, so it might still be... Oh, it's still in here. Wait. You go. You go, little guy. You're free. He's free. We freed him. The pig lives, guys. Pig is free. Okay, and we just have about enough space on this side as well. That's quite nice. Okay, well, let's get rid of these rocks just to be sure. Yeah, this is a big boy. I'm gonna probably have to do a little bit of interior design as well, like make maybe some smaller stables for some tames, and then have like the big main room. Come on. There we go. Whip it. There we go. That is everything filled in. Let's quickly get rid of the plants inside. Just makes it look a little bit nicer. Again, have a bunch of stuff now. Okay, well, you are on the edge, but we're gonna get rid of you. Okay, I think that is that's good for now. No, they are all still alive. There's no turrets around here yet, so they're free to go. Okay, so we got a pretty nice start to a barn. I wish there was the same texture for for the ramps as for the roof, but unfortunately, of course, that is not an ARK thing, so we'll have to live with that design. Yeah, I think what we could do, of course, to break it up and to make it less obvious, we could add these in between the different zones, so it's a little bit less obvious that it changes textures. And also, I mean, it adds of course a little bit of an extra detail. We could even add it here to the end, but I think I won't do that actually. Instead, what I might add to the end here is just some railings. I think that could be nice. There we go, some beams. Yeah, I think that does help a little bit. There we go. Okay, we're off to a good start, I think. We've got the shape of the front barn. I think we're going to start filling it in to get a proper feel of what the whole place is going to look like. I mean, this barn does look really cool, the door. Like, it's a pretty nice design, nice texture. So it definitely really helps making this big wall a little less boring. But we'll definitely be adding some windows, of course, to the sides as well. For now, however, I think it's time to start filling it in. I feel like it probably makes sense to have the barn doors on both sides, just as an option, even if you don't plan on using it. I think it might just be useful to get Thames out on both sides, or at least be able to do it if you want to. There we go. That should be the same place. I think it is. Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's add in the pillars. There we go. So now it's basically just a trick of getting in the same shape again as the other side. I don't know. I think that is about right. We'll see. Fill this all in. There we go. I'm not gonna change these textures around too quickly because, I mean, there's no reason to rush that. So yeah, 3 of those normally. Then we have that one. So we can connect the, oh geez, the next layer. And that's already 3 of them, so that should be it. And then what we're gonna change the texture of is this one, because that's hidden inside. There we go. Oh, I guess we don't really fill it in all the way through because we made that design, and definitely that is something that will be useful to keep around. There we go. Adding in a little bit of detail around here as well. Filling that in. Yeah, this is definitely a big ass build. But I think it's probably one of the more useful ones. Because dinos go quick. And especially on Scorched Earth, can be quite dangerous just to leave them outside. Okay, let's add in the beams here as well. Same on the other side. There we go. Don't think I have a beam here. Maybe I have a beam around there actually. Don't know if I did that on this side, but let's do that. If I didn't. Oh, I did have one. All the way through actually. Okay, maybe we do that. Makes sense, I guess. Have a little bit of support above the main front gate. Or in this case, I guess the back entrance. We'll definitely have to remove that tree at some point, but for now, just gonna leave it. We've done enough destroying rocks and trees. We'll just focus on the building for now, and I'll just remove those afterwards. We will make it a functional entrance here as well, just in case we do actually want to use it as a proper exit or entrance. We'll use the same design as on the other side. Okay, so here we should fill in those at least. There we go. I guess first we start with a little bit of the roof. There we go. And then we'll turn it into ramps. There we go. And we got the nice little shape we have on the other side as well. Get this barn coming together nicely. There we go. And have one stick out here on the end. Just, you know, have the nice little overlap on the side. I think we need that. We want that. And it looks a little bit nicer as well. Oh, let's definitely get rid of that. There we go. Perfect. Let's make sure that is properly filled in those pillars. There we go. And we'll have the railings underneath again. Filling in these gaps that there's no real proper way to do it otherwise. And I guess we can also add them to the ends as well, just as we did on the other side. There we go. Do the same over here. That should be most of it. Let's add in the beams as well. There we go. And I think that is off to a pretty good start here. Probably we were gonna want to do the same thing as we did on the other side. Add in a layer of ceilings. Take out the triangles. And create like a little shape here for some flyer accessibility. I think this one actually really nicely lines up with the own structure, like it looks proper supported that way. There we go. Very nice. And then, of course, we want to also add in the gate over here, just so that this is all closed off and the back of the barn is now also complete. So that's a good start. There's a whole lot of barn left. Now, yeah, we can't really add any building to the side here, obviously, because it will just be off the cliff. But I also don't really think that I would want it with a building already this big. Add even more to it. I think the way that we're going to add in detail is with like adding little windows and stuff to the roof as well. Because otherwise, obviously, it's going to be a giant surface if we don't add anything to it. Okay, I think at least these first two are just gonna be normal. Of course, this is actually the side edition of the build, where I don't really think we're gonna have an extra layer here.
Hello there.
Hello there. Thanks for subscribing. Let's fill in this one. This is like the last layer of the ramps. There we go. So yeah, I feel like we add in 2 and then we leave a gap of 2. We do the same thing here. And we do the same thing there. So we have 3 of those little gaps, and those we can use to make like these little window openings almost. Just like that. Which will add a little bit of interest, and then I'm hoping, oh wait, maybe what I can actually just do is adding some of those thin pillars. Those are holding them up. And that's just bringing a little bit of air and light into the build. I think that's a pretty nice detail. It's not too difficult, but I think it does add a lot to the build. Let's add these as well to see all proper results. Because yeah, getting enough light into the barn is definitely going to be one of the things that we want to make sure that we handle in the details. Okay, we're going to of course want to have this extend all the way through. Okay, I think I already really like the look of that. It's not too much, like it's not in your face. And I feel like it also just makes sense for a barn. Get some light in, some air in, you know. Get out of all the smells that are going on inside. And I feel like we can even continue this design basically in our walls as well. So for example, oh, these are not lining up the way I thought they would. Yeah, for example, having these go on every couple of... let me place them, please. Yes. I think that's going to be a good design. Every 2 is going to be a pillar. Until like here. There we go. Do this for every one of them. And then of course we're gonna have to add in some windows here to the side as well. To add in those details. I am fairly certain that for most of these, we're going to at least want to have these filled in. I'm going to do those where my roof windows are. I'm going to do the normal one, and then I'm definitely very sure that this one is just going to be completely filled in normally. Like so. Let's fill in this one here as well. There we go. And then we definitely just want to add in the beam. This is always nice and easy way to add in some details as well. All right. I like the look of that. That's a good start, I would say. Oh god. I'm stuck in the air. And I think for these parts, I'm actually going to make these at least too high. And then we're going to add in some windows to them. Some normal... Oh god. Default windows. Like so. And of course, adding in this layer as well. I think that's already off to a pretty nice start for these. We're gonna add in all of the windows or doors. There we go. Of course, those doors are going to be glass, so we have some glass windows in there, which is going to be quite nice, I think. Let in some more light, and then in between these, I'm thinking of doing my actual custom window design. However, I think that we're going to start like this. No, actually, I'm going to have to do this with these ones. There we go. Or actually, texture-wise, could it be done? Could it be done like that? I think it should be able to get done like that. There we go. We'll just get this shape in to get started. Well, I know for a fact that we should be able to... Oops, not that way around. There we go. I think that's nice because that breaks up the texture as well because they're slightly aligned differently. And then we could have just this, but I think actually having it with all the quarter walls might provide for more variation in the walls, which again will mean more details, I suppose. There we go, just like that. Gonna need a bunch of quarter walls for this one. And then, of course, we want to add in the tall doorway. There we go, like this. And this is what we're going to turn into our nice little custom windows. Even more light inside of the barn. I think that's just a thing that we definitely want to make sure happens because it's a big place, and yeah, it's going to be annoying to light otherwise. There we go. And I mean, it also is just a nice way to add in a bunch of detail. But yeah, if I look at this side of the barn, I definitely am already really happy with the way that looks. I think we probably also want to make sure that we start doing the skins. Not that one. Oh. Did I not do the beam everywhere? Okay, I did. Okay, we'll start with this beam and those pillars so that we have basically the bottom layer all done and guaranteed. Oh, that's sticking through the wood. And then we'll do this one. That's basically the part that I'm gonna skin for now, just so that we can see the final result of the side of the building and see if we're happy with this layer before we move on to any of the next layers. There we go. I think it does look pretty nice, to be honest. Quite happy with everything that I'm seeing so far. There we go. Fill in all of this as well. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, this is going to be quite nice. At least the roof portion, I think I'm definitely very happy with. Okay, well that's off to a good start. I definitely like the roof. I think that's also the perfect balance of detail and simplicity. Because you can't go too crazy on a build this size with little details, because it will just get and feel way too busy. There we go. I think actually I also want to make sure that I add in these above those windows, because I just really like the look of that as details as well. There we go. Yeah, I like that a lot. There we go. Yeah, I think we did a good job breaking up these walls to balance the details and the variation that we have between those. I think they look very nice together. It's definitely the easiest one to reskin. There's not that many structures there. This, of course, has a lot of different pieces. There we go. That's still off to a good look. I think I'm going to be quite happy with the design we've come up with. I think it looks quite nice, even on this big scale, which can sometimes be a little bit more tricky. I think this is plenty. And I think it will also leave a fair amount of light coming into the building, which is great, especially once we've finished the roof, you know. I want to make sure that it's not too dark on the inside, because adding lamps everywhere in a build this big will be a nightmare, and also possibly laggy as well. So adding the natural light makes a lot of sense in my opinion. Okay, so that is the design so far. We'll take out the glass textures as well. There we go. And that is looking quite nice. I like the look of that. I think that is the perfect blend of detail for the side. We definitely need to kind of blend the same amount of detail to the front here as well, I think. Let's change the weather. So yeah, what I'm thinking is adding in the design over here. Hello there, Nemo. Welcome in, welcome in. Okay, so I think we're gonna do one of these windows here as well. There we go. Custom little window. I hope those are possible on official, by the way. There we go. I think that's a decent height as well. There we go. Yeah, because that feels like the side addition to the main building. So makes sense to have that on the same height as the other windows that we've designed for these side walls. Nope. There we go. Okay, let's fill all this in with the right skin again to change the look. Yeah, that already really helps. Setting it apart a little bit more. Okay, well, we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. To be honest, I kind of want to make sure that we don't forget about this layer. Because I think we're going to need to know where it is for the next part of the roof for sure. Okay, there we go. So this is going to be like the next layer, and we can probably fill in a fair bit of it. There we go. That should be plenty of space to park a bunch of birds up here as well. There we go. Come on. Okay, and then we have still this room in there as well, so we can still fly up and down if we would want to. Of course, we'll have to add in proper supports underneath as well when we can. There we go. Adding in some safety railings. All the way around. Add in the safety. But yeah, it's going to be good to know where this layer is, because for the details, we'll definitely need to keep that in mind. And I think we're just gonna fill this one in without too many things on this top layer. Don't feel like it makes sense to add anything because it's just two of them. I mean, the roof is also just gonna be two of them, but feels like it's gonna be more easy to add the details in there. There we go, and we'll want to have these as well. Okay, I mean, it's a good start of the roof. We're getting there. Okay. So if we want to add in some details, we probably want to make sure we can do it with these, I think. Because we could add in a few of these guys to add in a little bit more detail. I think that could make sense. Yeah, do I want to do it like this? Probably not. Maybe like this. Add in a little bit of shape to them. And of course, we can change those into windows now as well. So, yeah, that might look quite nice. Yeah, I think that's that could work. Do I want to add in any details on these layers? Maybe. I'm not sure. Might be too much. If I add things to every layer, might be a little bit too busy again. There we go. Do I want to add in these windows? Every one of these. I think that's too much. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to only add them in the middle here as well. There we go. I think that's probably already enough. There we go. Fill in this. Go. We fill in this as well so that it is filled in everywhere where we have the extra details, or at least every two. Is that all that we want to do? Maybe we could still try, of course, to add in a little bit of extra detail. Maybe we'll have a few of those again. Like this. Maybe that could work. Let's see if we fill in the rest of the roof. Go like this. Fill it all in. Is that something that we want to add? Maybe. Could be nice. Yeah, I definitely don't think we want to add in too many more details. I'm not too sure about these spikes though. If they feel very, very spiky. I don't know if that fits this theme. This might be better. And then of course we'll have the little windows in there. There we go. Yeah, I think that might be enough. We don't want to overdo it, I think. Let's see what this looks like. Hello there. Thanks for subscribing. There we go. We'll have to change this as well. Yeah, I think these are quite nice, like this. There we go. Change the pillars again. There we go. Yeah, I think that's quite nice. I don't think that's too crazy or anything. Just thinking of other ways. Oh god, there's a sandstorm coming in. Just thinking of like other ways we could add in details. I think adding in the windmill somewhere could be really fun, but it's quite big. Obviously, I wouldn't add it in like this. I would make a little platform for it. Let's see, what would it look like if I would attempt that? So I think it would have to be something like this size. Is it bigger than this? Oh yeah, and it's actually sticking into the structure as well. Because I was thinking maybe having something like this on the roof. Like it does look kind of nice, but the fact that it sticks out lower than where you place it is not ideal. Okay, for one, if we do this, we can fill in this again. I think this could be a good job for maybe for some scaffolding. There we go. Makes this little bit stand out less. I think this might actually work. Do I need the little edge around it though? That is the question. Or is this enough? Maybe I don't need these quarter ceilings at all. Yeah, I think that actually kind of blends it in. And it just adds a nice little extra detail to the building. Yeah, I think that's a really good way. Obviously, you wouldn't do that on both sides because that would make it way too busy. But I think even though it's kind of has these little legs sticking out lower, I guess that's to make it stick into the ground normally on different terrains. Yeah, this works. And it does add a nice little detail. Because actually, having just this top part, of course, would have been enough. But I think for the scale of my build, we can definitely get away with placing the whole thing. Alright, let's change these textures as well so that we can finish this side to see if we like the way it's turning out. I think I do, actually. I think I really like this. It's coming together quite nicely, quite smoothly as well, like without any big issues, which is always nice. Doesn't always happen this well, like first try everything, but yeah, I think this does look really, really nice. This is definitely the kind of barn I had in my head, and it's also coming out into the game, which is great. Okay, let's change these textures all the way across. There we go. Yeah, this is my barn. It's looking good. Okay, I do want to add in a few extra details here on the front. I think I want to keep it simple though. Maybe just like this. I think that might be enough. Yeah, I think that is definitely enough. Just nice and simple, but it adds the extra light, the extra variation in there. I think that looks pretty nice. There we go. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, of course, for this layer, we definitely want to change the textures. There we go. And that's a lot of textures to change. Big structure. There we go. And a nice railing here as well, keeping us safe. There we go. Jeez. They're already getting inside of my barn. They like it. Okay, might as well update this as well to get the right feeling here. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so this is gonna be the top layer for like RGs and the moths and, you know, the small flies. Phoenix, you can fit them all up here. I think that's already looking quite nice. You would still have access to the rest of the barn if you fly in through here. And there's plenty of space to have quite a few of them in here, which is good. Now, the question is, do we want to add in some extra details up here? Because the more we add, the more we also take away, of course, of the space you have available. But like, we could add in some supports every couple of bits. Just like that. Because realistically, we're not going to park anything too close to there anyway. There we go. Filling that in nicely. Question is, can we give them proper supports? That would be nice, wouldn't it? I think with the scaffolding, we have to try. Just a very nice block or structure piece to add in support details like this. Actually, what we might want to do... let's try the design out here. There we go. Yeah, I think that definitely works. For the first one, yeah, we might want to keep it shorter just because that's where the gate is as well. Yeah, I think here adding in this could be quite nice to make sure that it actually feels like the whole thing is supported a little bit better. Oh god. There we go. Okay, there we go. Well, we would kind of need a beam at the bottom, of course, because otherwise it isn't really connected. But if we do a little thin pillar, that should help it make it feel completely connected. I might have added a extra pillar somewhere. Not quite sure where. It's probably like in between those or something. There we go. Yeah, that does look like some proper supports are going underneath those platforms up there, which is nice, of course. Because we can detail the outside, but for a building this big, I think you want to make sure we also have some things going on in the barn itself. Yeah, because look at that. That looks just a lot nicer. You could even, you know, make them all go all the way down further, but I don't think that's necessary. That might be a little bit too much. What we could try, though, is... you know, extend it a little bit further. Just one downwards. There we go. I think that does look quite nice. And it helps hide these little legs that come from the windmill on top. There we go. And it does help adding some details in here. which looks a lot nicer like this. I'm also quite happy with the amount of light coming in. That's definitely good. So in here, obviously, you could do a lot. You could do not too much, depending on how much space you want to use. You could just keep it empty and just have plenty of space for every dino that you bring in here. But I think just to make it look a little bit nicer, we're gonna add in some like divisions in the design. We're gonna for now just change half of the builds, because I think I'm probably just going to do half of it on stream, because the other side is mostly just going to be copying. And of course we're already been going at this for a little bit. Takes a lot longer than you would think, but that's mostly due to the size, finding the right spot, etc. Okay, there we go. Of course, we still have to add the details to that as well, but you know, I'll do that. Well, actually, it's not too much work. Let's just do it so that we understand the full look of this. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then here, of course, we also want to add in the custom window. There we go. Perfect. And then we'll update these textures as well. And then we can figure out some dividers that we want to add. Of course, as I said before, you can add as much or as little as you want. I think for the dividers, what I'm going to do is basically going to use those divisions that we've already set up in the walls designs. So it's going to be 2 by 2s, and the end one is going to be slightly bigger, so the corners are actually going to be a little bit bigger, which I think is nice. And this would be nice, for example, if you want to have like breeding paths of some of the small to medium sized dinos in there. You could easily fit them in, I think. There we go. Add a nice pillar to the end of it. And then I might continuing it like a thin pillar, because otherwise I think it might be too much. There we go. Let's quickly check what that looks like. Do we like that? Do we want the... Yeah, the problem is if we do the normal beams or the normal pillars, I think that's too much. Okay, and I think on top of here, probably just want to do this, to be honest. Go. I think that's big enough and high enough for most dinos that you would fit, because obviously the very big ones you would always keep in the middle. But we gotta add in a little bit of details on the inside, otherwise it's a very big empty room that we create. There we go. Change all these just so that we can judge the final look here. Or if it is even the final look. There we go. Not completely sure about the pillars going up all the way. What you could also technically do for these is you could have like actual gates for these as well if you wanted to. It is a possibility. Oh. Like, it would fit. So if you want to be able to close them off again, you would be able to do this. Let's see what that would look like actually if we change all these skins. You know what? It doesn't even look that bad. I think I just don't really like the thin pillars here. Okay, I'm just gonna delete those pillars because I just don't think they looked like they were making any difference in this structure. I guess what you could do is add in these here. But then I guess the main question would be, oh yeah, do you add in this? Because obviously we can't really do much here because of the ramps. We could add in that, I guess. Yeah. I don't know if you would want to have all these gates. It might get a little bit crazy and busy. So maybe you want to do every other. You could add in the crates. So damn. Sandstorm. Yeah, maybe like this. This would be a little bit less crazy. And then you could have... You could still have dinos in between, of course, but just without the gates. Oh, that's not the right one. Yeah, I guess this could work. There we go. Let's add in these beams at least. Yeah, I kind of like that these scaffolding pieces just about fit, even though there are ramps there. There we go. Because it's quite a nice detail, I think. Maybe we even want to do this. Yeah. Oh, you're not a member anymore. Yeah, that lasts a month. Okay. If we change these textures, we can judge if we think this is any good. Of course, the exact interior is always optional, but I guess They almost look like some kind of crates. Okay, and then we could, of course, add in some like doors in between. So we have like different sizes, stables for different sizes of dinos, I guess. Let me grab the door. There we go. Oh, and he's back. Thank you so much, Kane. Welcome back. You're a Padawan once again. Okay, let's fill in these doors. Because that, I mean, that's the most stable-like door, I think. Yeah, I think that could work. You know, you have a little bit of variation of the different crates. You could have, like, bigger dinos in the bigger ones. Excuse me, if you want to be in my barn, please be tamed instead of just stomping around my new big barn. But yeah, I think the design work. Having these doors would be nice. I would probably make sure they always go outwards, just because I think that looks nice. And then for looks, I would probably have one of them open for now if we're not using them. And something like this, and then this I would also do always outwards. There we go. Yeah, I think that's quite nice. And there's still so much space left even after you've built all of these, because there's still like 3 foundations and then the whole middle part, and then another 3 before you would get to the other side. So yeah, I think that is the design we're going for. Obviously, we're not completely done. We would need to do the rest of the build, but I think for time's sake and because it would be the same thing if we go and repeat the same process on the other side, I think I will just do that off stream sometimes to finish off the build. So then not just repeating the same design, but for now I'm just at least going to update these textures, and I'm going to grab a big dino or wyvern for scale so that we can judge even better how big the barn design is. But yeah, it's quite big. There we go. I haven't seen that. Is there a Jurassic Rex? Probably, I mean, yeah. Still waiting for the paleo ones to get crossplay so we can add them to the cluster. Okay, well that is looking quite nice. I think that is all the textures updated. So I am going to grab my wyvern so we can see it for scale. Yeah, she was in it earlier and she was already instantly asking if it was going to be big enough for her. Okay, my wyvern should be right here. There we go. Let's bring it over to my western town and see how big the barn actually is. I think a wyvern for skill works, you know. The wyvern for skill tells a lot. Yeah, I mean, she's not the only one. I've gotten a lot of questions about people wanting a barn design, because, I mean, you always kind of need one, right? To store some dinos in, keep them safe, and it fits the look of this world, and especially with the frontier skins. It just all fits very well together. I'm probably gonna add more details around as well, make it into a little ranch on the outskirts of my western town as well. I think that will be a fun addition to the build, and it's a nice change of pace from all the town buildings that I've been building so far. All right, we're getting close. We can see. Will it fit? I think it will. I think we'll definitely have quite a lot of space left. At least I hope so, because this was already a pretty big design. Okay, there we go. Let's fly into the front. Of course, gonna have to open the gate. Oh yeah. Yeah, we have plenty of space. Plenty of space. Honestly, you probably want to make sure that these always only open outwards, so that you always have the most amount of space. But yeah, easily fits a wyvern. You can breed them in here. Have a couple, and especially if you don't add all the side bits, you could have a bunch of them parked to the side here. Like, you could have 4 at least easily next to each other on the side. So yeah, that's quite nice. Looking good, if you ask me. Quite happy with the way this turned out. I think we added the nice right amount of details here on the side as well. Really happy with the little windmill as a as a decoration piece, as some decor on the roof. I think that definitely sells the right vibe, in my opinion. All right, well, I think that is actually going to be it for the stream, because this took me a long time already, finding the right spot, building it all up. But I do think in the end it turned out really, really nice. I'm just going to park this somewhere relatively safe. Somewhere up here. There we go. Should be safe there. Yeah, I'm quite happy with the way this turned out. I think it is pretty much the barn that I had in my head. And it should fit quite a lot of dinos. I will finish the rest of the design. And of course, the stream will be available later. I'll make a speed build and probably do a tutorial in a little bit as well. So it's even easier to follow. And then it's optional, of course. I think there's so much space. There's a lot of different things you could do with the interior. This is only one variation of stables you could build. You could, of course, just leave it empty if you want to have the most amount of space. But you also have the RG parking up here. Little aviary up there. So definitely a lot of space. And technically, you could even add another layer here or something. If you want to have more RG parking or something like that. Phoenix, moths, everything. Should fit a lot of creatures, that's for sure. And if you need even more space at that point, just get a cryo station, because I mean, what? You're gonna run out of space on the map. At least in a flat space. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, I think it turned out really nice. So as I said, stream will be available if you want to try and build it yourself. Speed build will be up later this week of just, you know, speeding along this building process. And then I'll do a proper tutorial going step by step a little bit later as well. But yeah, I think it turned out nice. Gonna love working on adding a little ranch on front of it as well. And, you know, turning it into a proper little farming area, ranch area. Proper Western Wild West vibes, basically. But yeah, that is going to be it, because I've been going for about 2 hours building, and that's usually what I like to call that the max, because especially talking and building, it can be quite intense. So yeah, I think that's a nice design. Hopefully you guys like it. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and hopefully I'll see you around. Next video will be up tomorrow, and then we'll probably have the next stream maybe Sunday, otherwise early next week, because I'm going away for the weekend. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. Hopefully, see you around in the next stream. Goodbye.